Well, following a major escalation by Pakistan in the form of attempted missile strikes in Jammu and Kashmir and drone strikes in other parts of India, including Rajasthan's Jaisalmer, the Indian Navy has started a retaliatory operation. Targeted operations, they said, in the early hours today have begun in the Arabian Sea against multiple targets in Pakistan. And just last evening, Thursday, loud explosions were heard in Jammu, and it was later learned that Pakistan had launched missiles not only at the city, but several other parts of Jammu and Kashmir, including Arnia, Samba and Srinagar. All the missiles, I can confirm to our viewers, were successfully intercepted by India's air defense systems. In fact, shelling was also reported in Pathankot, and drones were intercepted in Jaisalmer, among other places. Blackouts, meanwhile, were also enforced in several cities. This includes Chandigarh, Mohali and Srinagar. My colleague Shiv Arur has been tracking all the finer developments for us. Listen in to his report regarding the Navy ops.
Acknowledging the Navy's role right now is operations in the Arabian Sea. That could, of course, mean anything, and we will leave that, for the operational commanders to release information about as and when they want to do and when the government wants to do that. So the Navy, very much part of this tri-service operation. There's a lot of misinformation doing the rounds as to what each armed forces is doing. We certainly on NDTV will not do that. Point number two, you're absolutely right. I think the hero of the day today is every man and woman in uniform in our security establishment, for sure. But if we had to take something that was not human in terms of technology, most certainly the hero of the day has been India's integrated air defense system, which comprises everything from the Russian S-400 to the Israeli Spider to our very own Desi Akash surface-to-air missile system, which has matured into a very, very credible and world-class anti-air system. All of these, in some way or the other, have performed their role, Ankit and Kitty, in today's sort of very surreal symphony of air defense, in which not a single incoming Pakistani projectile, whether missile or drone, actually managed to hit its target. The Ministry of Defense, remember, has officially and formally confirmed, that whether it was Udhampur, Jammu, Pathankot or other places, not a single projectile aimed at any of those military establishments by Pakistan managed to find their target. And the result, the proof and the reason for that was there for all to see, because literally common citizens, the Aam Aadmi, the Aam Mahila, was recording what was happening in the skies over these places with their mobile phones. This wasn't even like a classified thing that was happening somewhere in a remote war zone. It was happening above people's houses, above their housing colonies. They were filming it with their phones. It reminded me in some ways of what Israel does with its Iron Dome, except this is many leagues ahead of Israel, because Israel only has to deal with unguided rockets and things like that. Here, India was dealing with smart munitions, guided drones, loitering munitions, probably ballistic missiles as well, and it has shot down every one of them. I'm not saying, that the situation cannot evolve and there may be some attacks which actually, find their targets. God forbid, and I hope that does not happen. But what we've seen today is nothing short of stupendous, and every single man and woman in our air defense forces deserves a national salute today. The shape and form of India's retaliations so far have been extremely measured. What we know so far is they've been measured, they've been non-escalatory. India has enunciated that non-escalatory aspect of its kinetic actions over the last 48 hours since Operation Sindoor actually began. And there's no reason to believe that will change, because India is not the kind of country that is looking to escalate. In two statements that have come out so far, one statement that came out from the Ministry of Defense and the other comment from Vikram Misri, who is the Foreign Secretary and part of the Ministry of External Affairs, both have talked about, that conditionality in this situation, Ankit and Kitty, which is that if Pakistan demonstrates a commitment to de-escalation, then de-escalation can perhaps happen from the Indian side as well. But the ball for now is in India's court, because we've just seen an entire evening of attempted offensive actions by Pakistan, which have been defended by India. Now, the tables turn towards the other side of that retaliation, where the initiative is now with India, and the rhythm, the entire rhythm of this conflict means India will be now expected to retaliate. If that happens, then that could escalate things even further, depending on what form it takes, Ankit and Kitty. But if India chooses to once again play the time.
Right, we have breaking news that we're tracking this morning. Pakistani troops had resorted to unprovoked shelling along the line of control in Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir late on Thursday evening, with the Indian Armed Forces retaliating effectively. Officials had informed us that there were no reports of any casualties so far, but there was gunfire at multiple locations along the LoC. The firing had stopped overnight. The developing information coming in that the firing resumed early this morning. Nazir Masoodi has been tracking all the finer developments for us on Ground Zero. He joins us live at the moment. Nazir, we're given to understand that the firing had stopped overnight in Kupwara, but it's resumed early this morning. What details can you disclose currently?
Well, it is a situation you don't know what would happen next. I'm in Kupwara. Number one, it is raining. It was raining last evening, and it's raining this morning also. Amid this rains and bit cold also, there's huge amount of hostility and shelling along the line of control and deep inside the line of control here in Kupwara. Many houses, homes have been targeted in the Kupwara, Uri, Poonch, Samba, Thwa, Poonch, Rajouri as well. So it is a situation which we've seen is escalating, and Pakistan is trying to escalate the situation. Indian Army has responded in equal measure, which they always do. For last 3 days, we have seen artillery being used, and it is innocent civilians who become the main target. There was complete blackout in Kupwara as the sirens sounds were heard for a long time, and then complete blackout, and then along the line of control, there was heavy shelling. Fortunately, there was no attempt to target anywhere in Kupwara town, where security forces have been on a high alert. Air defense system has been activated across Jammu and Kashmir, particularly near the major installations. Srinagar was also, there was a blackout. There was, air defense system was activated. There, Pakistan had tried to target our Air Force stations, be it Srinagar or Avantipora. There were loud explosions heard near Avantipora, and successfully India has foiled all the attempts Pakistan has made, whether it was missile attacks or drone attacks. They have been successfully eliminated from Jammu to Srinagar, and also along the line of control. A befitting reply has been given to Pakistan's this acts of aggression. And what India has said, that the original this escalation is the terrorist attack on April 22nd, when 26 tourists were killed in Pahalgam. What happened later is the response of India, whether it is targeting terror sites in Pakistan on May 7, or then Pakistan again trying to target the military installations in India yesterday, and India responded with targeting their air defense capabilities in different parts of Pakistan. And in Lahore, their air defense system was neutralized, that was hit. Even Pakistan's DG ISPR admitted that their military installation in Lahore was hit and equipment was damaged in that, in a sense, accepting that their air defense system has been damaged in Indian action.
Nazir, as always, thank you so much for joining us with the latest from Ground Zero. Also joining us in a short while from now, my colleague Gurpreet and Sunil Prabhu. But before that, let me take our viewers through the complete blackout that was imposed in Jammu early today, following sirens and reported explosions near the line of control in the Poonch and Rajouri districts. This is amid escalating tensions. Meanwhile, the Border Security Force successfully thwarted a significant infiltration attempt along the international boundary in the Samba district on the night of 8th of May. This is what our army sources have informed us. According to a statement posted by the BSF Jammu, the attempt occurred around 11 p.m. Nazir joins us with a quick update regarding this development as well. Nazir, how are locals coping with the blackouts? Are they still on? Is there a restriction as far as communication is concerned? Take our viewers through the latest.
Well, the night was literally a nightmare, Pakistan, because of the heavy, this target Pakistan wanted to make, in particularly in Jammu. Yesterday evening after sirens, there was complete blackout in Jammu. There was loitering munition that was fired, and then there was, drone and the missile attacks, and all these projectiles and drones have been neutralized by India's integrated air defense system. It is unprecedented the way we could see the visuals, people themselves uploading them on the social media, and how our integrated air defense system neutralized them. Unprecedented for a common people like us and technical people, how the whole integrated system was working, whether it is S-400 or all other systems which have been employed to foil all these attempts. That was unprecedented for common people to give common man a confidence. Look, armed forces are ready to deal with any eventuality or any aggression, be it on the borders or if they try to, target the main cities like Jammu or the Air Force stations, which they tried to do. But every attempt was foiled by integrated air defense system. And clearly, whatever action or the nature of the action they make, there's equal and proportionate response what Army and the Defense Ministry and the Government of India has been repeatedly saying. And clearly there would be a response. And there has been response, what we know from Navy to this, the Army, everybody is responding. And the Air Force, everyone is responding to Pakistan's actions, and there's equal and what Army has said, proportionate response. We're waiting for the official statement, what happened, exact nature of the projectiles which were fired last evening and during the night at Jammu, and what was the nature and the weaponry which was used to target Pakistan, hit them back so that it doesn't happen. Since Pahalgam massacre, people have been saying it in Kashmir. After those protests, it has to be fight to the finish. Terrorism must end. Kashmir cannot be always made a laboratory by Pakistan to use it as a terror, this ground. So that is what people though believe, that this should end the militancy here in Jammu and Kashmir, violence in Jammu and Kashmir. But the way things are unfolding, what is saying next 24 hours or 48 hours appear to be very, very crucial when it comes to the escalation ladder or the hostility, whether they will end or they are going to, further escalate.
Well, Nazir, thank you so much for joining us with the crucial details. In fact, the Indian Defence Forces neutralized missile and drone attacks on military stations in Jammu, Pathankot and Udhampur carried out by Pakistan. Military stations of Jammu, Pathankot and Udhampur in proximity to the international boundary in Jammu and Kashmir targeted by Pakistan using missile and drones. This was a post by the Integrated Defence Services, RED. Sunil, Nazir and Gurpreet have been tracking all the developments for us. Let's just get in an update from Sunil first. Sunil, as we speak, there's heightened tension nationally. Take us through how the central government is positioning its narrative on this escalation we've seen since yesterday, while also maintaining diplomatic channels.
Well, very important point, and I think the world across has been working on the phone lines, not only to India as well as also to Pakistan. In particular, we've seen the United States Secretary of State, urging and speaking to his counterpart in Pakistan to de-escalate. I think everybody across the world and world leaders have been urging both India and Pakistan to de-escalate. India, on its part, has been showing and has been consistently saying very categorically that we have been extremely restrained. We have been non-escalatory. The focus has been only on striking at the root of terror infrastructure, which was responsible for the horrific killings in Pahalgam, which we've all witnessed. And it was in that direction that they had made those precision strikes, but as they said, on a continuous basis, non-escalatory. Last night's attempt by Pakistan, even though it has been neutralized, is a clear act of escalation and something that India will respond. And it's in this backdrop that I think everybody understands that there is need for both countries to de-escalate. Whether that will happen or not from our side, from India's side, it's very, very categorical. We will go to any extent. We will not, and that's the clear message from the security apparatus here in New Delhi, that our armed forces will not be watching. They will respond and effectively neutralize any attempt that Pakistan makes, because what they have been doing is, as I continue to stress, non-escalatory. But the situation has definitely gone from bad to worse. It's extremely tense, grim, and we'll have to wait and see whether diplomatic efforts make an impact. Otherwise, India will definitely respond in equal measure.